Hi, Danny. How are you?
Well, Maria, good to talk to you.
Good to talk to you too. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. But we're on tonight. Your song that is out on March 1st tomorrow is on the recommended playlist. While the Red Light's On. So delighted that you sent it to us this week and that we have it. Do you want to tell me a wee bit about this track?
Yeah, myself and Cormac Curtis make up Thewlis, and this is our sixth single. And basically, I got an idea about the song when I was watching the Gimme Shelter documentary about the Rolling Stones concert at Altamont, and I was kind of thinking about like the band me and Cormac had been in. Like we'd previously been in a band in the '90s called Mahogany Men, and I've been in a band in Donegal called Certain Elements, and how you start off in music kind of with all these dreams and ambitions. And I was thinking about all that while watching Give Me Shelter and how there they are. And you know what's going to happen at Altamont. You know what a disaster it's become, but they're looking forward to this concert. Could be the highest attended concert of all time. They reckon there could be about 500,000 people. And we know with a sense of dread that disaster is going to happen. And I was kind of like comparing like how people start off in bands with all the ambitions and then how it can go horribly wrong and how do you react. And like, I mean, initially the lyrics were a lot more hard hitting
Mhm.
because the Stones appear to be standing on stage oblivious to the fact that there's a fella in the third row getting beaten to death and stabbed to death. And then like Jagger, the band plays on. The gig goes on ahead, and then they skip off in a helicopter and leave the Ultimate Freeway with Bedlam behind them. And so that's what the lyrics of the song are about in a kind of obscure way. But as I say, they were a lot more hard hitting and probably a lot more anti-Rolling Stones. But then you realize it wasn't their fault. You
Yes,
knew
yes.
something was out to kill someone. And then I read more about Altamont and I realized that like the guy had a gun in his hand. So the Hells Angels who went over the top and killed them, they saw a gun and saw red and tried to protect Mick Jagger. So it's a lot more complicated than we think.
Wow.
But I mean that's like the backstory, the inspiration for a song that kind of took about a year to write. And when you listen to it, it's kind of probably as upbeat as we get. And the backstory of the song and what the lyrics actually mean, you
So
wouldn't
dark.
expect
Yeah.
you wouldn't expect people to relate to it, when like they listen to it, because we've got a lot of good feedback already
Mhm.
about the song, and people are saying it's very upbeat and great and very radio friendly and so on. So maybe I'll talk less about what it's about in case people go, no, not playing that.
No, because for me, Danny, I love to get a backstory of a song. Like I was sent a song last week from a guy and I loved it. And, but then I actually, like with yourself, I said, would you mind giving me the background on it? Now it means like I love it 100 times more because I know
Mm,
of the story. So that's important to me, and I'm sure important to a lot of the listeners as well. So thank you for sharing that. This is only a brief chat tonight, but
mm.
we have plans that we'll get a more in-depth conversation in the near future. I wanted to let the listeners know tonight about your upcoming gig in your hometown.
Well, yeah, it's my adopted hometown because I was born in Lifford and raised in Lifford in County Donegal. But I lived in Ballybofey for a while. I had gone to school in Stranorlar over the bridge, and I got interested in acting. And the Ballard Theatre, as it was at the time, had a great scheme, which I think is running. And you'd take your first steps toward acting, and I met a lot of people there, and I started performing music. And the very, very first gig I ever did was actually in the Ballard in a
Wow.
charity concert back in 1985. And it's like, I'm not saying like square in a circle or bringing it all back home, but it's just that the Conor Malone, who runs the Ballard Arts Centre, had asked us a couple of occasions would we be interested in playing, and we had not initially thought of Thewlis as kind of a live entity at all. We were going to release singles, release songs, get songs published. And the more we thought about it, and particularly the last song that we released, the one before the one, a lot of people really, really got to like that and kept on asking us, when are you going to play live? When are you going to play live? We really want to see you live. And the because Connor asked first, frankly, we said, well, I always said to Connor, if and when we play live, the first gig we do will be the Ballard Arts Centre. And we're doing it. We're doing it on April 11th. And we're on a bill with Michael Gillespie, a local musician.
Mhm.
And I would have to check the other musician, who I believe is very, very good and a solo artist as well. But we're really looking forward to it. Tickets are available at the Ballard Arts Centre's website, and we can't wait. We're
Yeah,
in rehearsals for it. you know.
Yeah, Ghostlight Sessions is phenomenal. I have been there at
Absolutely.
numerous ones. I've played at them, and like this. I think you'll go a far bit to find a place that has as good a sound as the Ballard Theatre as well to be performing in. I love it. So, yeah, we just want people to that we're going to be playing the song right after this chat, and go on the Ballard Arts Centre website and book your tickets. Get to the Ghostlight Sessions to see Thewlis. I hope to be there, and we'll have maybe a chat that night too, Danny.
Maria, thanks a million for having us on.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you, Danny.